Voyons voir ce que c'est.
Hi everyone,
sur
this
le
is
PC.
Jeff with the Overwatch
Super.
team. Really excited to be back here in 2020 for our first developer update. So everyone on the Overwatch team listens to and gets a ton of feedback about the game, and we love hearing from you. And in the past few months, I would say, this isn't based on science, but there are two topics that come up the most, that we hear of the most. One is, what's the team's philosophy on balance, and could the team balance the game more frequently and or better? That comes up a lot, like a lot of discussion about the balance of gameplay and hero balance. And then the other thing that we hear a lot of feedback and comments on is the concept of the meta of the game. What heroes are played? Are there other heroes that are
Si tu peux me permettre, j'ai entendu beaucoup de gens dire qu'est-ce qui va se passer avant Overwatch 2 aussi. Mais bon, je comprends qu'ils veulent pas en parler.
viable to be played at any time? And what could the Overwatch team do to make sure that the meta was moving along more fluidly and more frequently? So I want to spend today's developer update talking about some things that we're doing very soon that will address these 2 points, balance and the meta. So let's start with balance. I think everybody's interested in balance in some way or another.
Oui, s'il vous plaît.
In the past, the Overwatch team has faced some criticism for being a little bit slow when it comes to our balance patches. We've often heard that players want to see balance more frequently. They want us to try more things. They want us to be more aggressive with changes. They want us to be willing to revert changes that the community perceives as not being good. We have tried to use the public test realm in the past to test some balance changes, but as you know, things stay on the PTR, the public test realm, for quite some time. And we don't always make a lot of dramatic changes once something makes its way to the public test realm.
Ouais, clairement.
We have something that I think is really cool and really exciting in the pipe and in the works that will be coming soon to Overwatch, which is called the experimental card. So we have our main play cards, as you know, there's quick play, competitive, the game browser, which we call our main play cards. Every now and then, coming in the future, you will see a card pop up that says experimental. This experimental card will be some number of changes. They might be related to hero balance. They might be related to other things. We could be testing changes to the way one of our game modes work, like the control game mode and how it works in competitive. It doesn't have to be balance related. But the experimental card will come up every now and then when we want to test something. And it will give all players of Overwatch, not just players who want to go to the PTR, but all players, including console players, will be able to use the experimental card to test changes out that we're trying as a development team. The really cool thing about the experimental card is because it is in the main game of Overwatch and not some separate public test realm, is that you'll still be leveling up your Overwatch account. You'll still get rewards. If we were running something like, if you remember way back when we had Diva's Nano Cola Challenge, and if you got 9 wins, we gave you a skin, that would apply if the experimental card was up. Those wins would count in the experimental card. So we
Rien à battre. Genre, ça par contre, on se contre.
feel like players will be rewarded. You don't have to change your behavior. It should drive a lot more players
Elle est longue.
to helping us test out changes. Also, unlike the public test realm, the point of the experimental card is not stability and bug testing. That's not what we're really looking for in the experimental card. We're looking at gameplay changes and player reactions to those gameplay changes. So we really welcome all of you to check this out. It's going to take us a few weeks to get the first experimental card up, so please be patient
Ah
with
ouais.
us. But you'll notice it when we add it to the game, and we really welcome, in addition to our PC players who have been helping us test on the public test realm, really welcome the entire console community to now help us, try out new and fun ways of playing Overwatch and providing us with feedback. Along with the experimental card, we're also going to change our balance philosophy, which is going to be balance more frequently, more aggressively, and be less concerned with trying something out and maybe pulling it back later. So that's a change. We're going to try some pretty aggressive balance changes. We are going to deliberately target the meta. Before, we used to balance with stability in mind, stability of the entire game, all players in mind. Now we are going to balance more aggressively, targeting the meta and moving you off of the meta as frequently as possible, which means some heroes might get buffed, some heroes might get some changes to make them weaker. When that happens, we might revert it a few weeks later. So be looking for this type of balancing to happen. Be looking for changes in the experimental card, some of which will never go live. So just because you see it on the experimental card doesn't mean it's going to happen in Overwatch. These are some balance changes that are going to be different and coming soon to Overwatch. And all of this is based on what we've been hearing from you. We've been hearing this is what you want. You want us to balance more frequently. You want us to target the meta. You want these changes to happen more often, and you want us to include you in the process more. So all of this is designed to address that feedback. Now, I'd like to talk about Season 21 of Competitive for a minute. Season 21 of Competitive, we are going to try something that's going to be very new and very different to help move players off of the meta, or to prevent players from stagnating on any one meta
Si c'est les Euroban, je vous déteste.
too long. Coming with Season 21, which begins in March, so you have some time to kind of prepare for this. Coming with Season 21, we will be introducing to competitive only. This will not affect quick play. It will not affect any of the arcade modes. We will be introducing hero pools. Like we have map
Quoi? C'est encore pire.
pools. What hero pools mean is for that week, and the hero pool will only last for 1 week, and then there will be a new hero pool.
What?
There will be some heroes that will not be included in the hero pool. For example, in the first week of the hero pool, let's say Season 21 had just started, maybe Orisa, Sigma, May, and Moira are not in the hero pool. So players will have to think of a new strategy that doesn't involve those heroes, and that will last for 1 week, and then the hero pool will change. Again, this is competitive only. This is targeted at keeping the meta fluid, or the meta from stagnating, and really getting to more hero diversity. Now, we know there's some challenges with this concept. This is what I would consider to be something that we would be willing to change if we don't feel like it's going correctly. We could make the hero pools last longer. We can make the hero pools move faster. We can make the hero pools change every match. There's all sorts of ways that we could adjust on this, but starting with Season 21, we're going to start it with a weekly hero pool. Very exciting is that the Overwatch League is excited about this idea as well, and they will be implementing a version of hero pools as well. And the Overwatch League will be releasing a blog describing how they approach hero pools. And they were very excited to see the meta moving more frequently also. Also just want to say how excited for the 2020 season, which is starting soon for the Overwatch League. We all are. So as you can see, there's some very big changes coming to Overwatch. As always, we are listening to you. And if we feel like any of these things aren't working out well, we're always open to change and iteration. We have that experimental card. We have hero pools coming to Season 21. Now, that's not all. As always, there's a huge anti-cheat effort going on. It's in my best interest and the game's best interest not to discuss the details of what's happening for anti-cheat, but we have some major things in the next 2 patches going in to address anti-cheat. And as always, all of the reports are super helpful to us. Please keep those coming. We really love your help with anti-cheat. We have a big workshop update, which we'll be releasing either a blog post or a forum post about, so you can read all of the details there. And then there's some other just really fun quality of life things that are coming down the pipe. Pretty soon there's going to be some great improvements to replays. You're going to be able to pin a replay. So if one of your 10 replays is very special to you and you want to save it for that patch, you can pin it and always go back to it. And we're working on the ability for you to share your replays with other
Putain,
players.
yes! Ça, c'est cool, ça.
Where they could play your replay in their version of Overwatch. I think this will be really fun for content creators in particular. You'll be able to do some really cool things with some shared replays from your communities. I think that will be really great. And we've got some quality of life improvements coming to the career profile that some of you have been asking for ages. So career profile is going to get a major overhaul for Overwatch 2. But that's way further down the pipe. That's not in the immediate future. But for the current Overwatch game, we want to do a light refresh of the career profile and just kind of clean up some of those things that have been bothering a lot of us for some time. So in the meantime, we're going to have some things like the ability to sort player icons coming to the career profile in the next few months. So that's a lot of what we're working on for the live game right now. I know you're going to give us a ton of feedback, and I can't wait to hear it all. We're really excited, I think the most of all for this experimental card, because it will let so many of you help us make the game better. Thank you for everything, and let's hope we have a great 2020.
Eh ben, ça promet. C'est cool, tu caches tout. Pas. Faire ce que j'ai envie.
Eh ben,
Tu l'as vu du coup?
pas mal de choses. Ouais, j'ai vu. Sympa.
Tu trouves?
Où il y aura une sorte de mini PTR sur le.
Bah, ça, à la
Le
limite,
live.
ok, mais le Hero Pool.
Ouais.
Oh,
Ah ouais,
putain,
le Hero Pool, ça c'est genre leur Hero Ban, mais version E quoi.
Ouais, mais c'est le Hero Ban, mais Nano Boost, quoi, c'est intéressant.
Ouais, c'est ça, c'est pire qu'un Hero Ban, quoi. C'est unilatéral par Overwatch. C'est même pas les joueurs qui choisissent qui ban, c'est vraiment Overwatch
Ouais,
qui décide, oh bah cette semaine on va ban ceux-là.
C'est vrai que de ce point de vue, c'est mieux. Parce que Hero Ban, c'était vraiment en mode tu vas plus jamais voir des trucs
Bon, en
style
soi, ouais,
Mei
c'est
et
vrai
tout
que
ça.
on empêche les teams de loquer,
Ouais, c'est
enfin
ça.
de ban.
Moira serait jamais joué dans ce cas-là. Tu vois. Parce que Moira,
Ouais,
c'est
voilà,
le plus détesté des healers, clairement, de loin. Mais
clair.
ouais, je sais pas trop quoi en penser, honnêtement. J'ai un petit peu peur que ça. Après, en soi, moi, ça va pas me faire chier parce que. J'ai l'habitude de jouer un peu tous les héros, donc en soi, tu vois,
Ouais, c'est ça.
je saurais
En
m'habituer.
fait, ça va vraiment, comment dire, bah ça va vraiment briser ceux qui jouent vraiment qu'un seul perso, quoi.
Ah ouais, mais les OTP. Oh, les OTP, ils sont en PLS là. Oh, ils ont une assistance respiratoire sur le côté. Oh mon dieu. Ah, mais ils sont pas bien.
Ouais.
Oh, bah tant mieux,
Bah,
après,
après,
je vais pas me plaindre. Hein, mais...
le seul truc qu'ils peuvent espérer, c'est qu'ils réduisent la durée
Ouais,
des
bah.
bans.
Bon, non, mais une semaine c'est bien, ça fait tourner assez rapidement, je trouve.
Mais ouais, une semaine, je pense que
Ouais, la durée d'une semaine,
si
c'est
ça dure plus longtemps, ça va être trop chiant parce que bah si par exemple moi ils me bannissent pour Reinhardt, je suis pas merde.
Mais c'est ça, en fait, ce qui me fait peur, c'est la
Non, en
taille,
vrai,
la
ça
taille
va.
du Hero Pool en fait. Parce que s'ils restreignent ça, genre à la limite, genre moite-moite, ça va. Mais même, en fait, ce qui va me déranger aussi, c'est le fait que, bah, c'est possible, par exemple, imaginons que, genre, Amon soit dans le Hero Pool, mais que, par exemple, ni Mei ni Sombra ne soient dans le Hero Pool. Donc, tous les gros compteurs de Mei ne sont pas là, donc tu peux pas les utiliser contre lui. Franchement, de premier abord, je suis pas fan de l'idée. Je vais le dire clairement. De premier abord, vraiment.
Clair. Bon, on verra bien comment ça sera, mais on verra bien.
Oui. Bon, on verra bien, oui. De toute façon,
à mon avis, c'est une bonne chose, mais faut.
Ouais. Je sais pas. Ouais, je sais pas trop quoi en penser. C'est quand la saison de 21?
Ils avaient dit mars, je crois.
De quoi?
Il avait dit début mars.
Début mars. Quoi? Début mars?
Bah, il avait dit mars, en tout cas.
J'ai pas écouté.
à la
Putain, mais
vidéo.
c'est long. C'est-à-dire qu'on va rien avoir pendant tout le mois de février. Oh. Oh. Surtout qu'en mars, on est censé avoir un nouveau héros normalement.
Bah, à mon avis, ça va arriver avec le héros, quoi.
Bah, j'espère pas, parce que je crois que c'est fin mars. Je sais même plus.
Ah merde.
Je sais plus, faut que je vérifie. Putain, ouais, c'est compliqué, hein.
Ouais.
Ouais, je sais pas trop.